I think just our effort to start the game, focus, attention to, come right out. Had to call a timeout early because we got a straight line drive to the basket. Just watching them play. I mean, we did some good things offensively today. It was good to see our field goal percentage get up to, a really respectable number for making shots. Still would like to get the three ball going a little bit better. I mean, with a team like that thrives on shooting threes, you got to find a way to make a few. But I thought the effort in the second half was great. Everybody came in, really played hard, worked their minutes hard, and there's some really positives from the second half.
You guys made only 1 3 in the first half, but you guys made only 1 3 in the first half, but then started off hitting 4 threes within the span of 2 minutes. How big was that in terms of sparking your offense?
The three-pointer is a game changer now. I think when we missed them, obviously they were able to get some separation. When we made a few and we contested them a little better in the second half, really got out to their shooters. Still a little bit late on some of our rotations, starting in and firing out the shooters. I mean, whenever guys start to make a few shots, guys start inching toward them a little bit sooner than they need to. We really have to try to have protection on the rollers as well. They have some really good rollers and guys that we have to be concerned with. So it's finding that balance of being able to be in, helping on the rollers, and still firing out the shooters. And we did that better in the second half, but there's still room for improvement.
In the second half, you also used a lineup we hadn't seen it yet this point this year. Was that more of looking to find something or sending a message to the guys who weren't? There was a point where we saw Negus and Keza, Richard. Was there any attempt to switch things up?
Trying to buy some minutes for the starters to get back in game. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, our talent pool was high today when we had our assignment guys. Malcolm was out, with his ankle, but obviously when those guys are down here, they're going to play a ton of minutes, and it kind of changes for everybody else. So it's really kind of spot minutes. But we have obviously had a lot of turnover from how we started off the season, but it's been a positive for us. We got guys that are getting some minutes that probably otherwise wouldn't. So I think it's going to be beneficial for us later on in the season. A guy like Keza King, he's coming in and been able to play significant minutes. Keith and Savage, these guys are rookies. I mean, I probably wouldn't be playing them much at all if we had more of a veteran team like we had last year. And that's the thing about the G League is these guys are right on the kind of the precipice of being NBA players, and so it's a wake up call to some of these guys. They're right out of college and understanding what it takes to win at this level. They get a little frustrated with their shots because they're not going down right now. And they're just understanding the timing and speed of the game, and they're continuing to get their reps in our player development piece. And I think as the season goes on, they'll be better. They'll be better to step up and knock down shots. But I'm really proud of them from the standpoint of defensively, where they're able to work with some of the things that we're doing defensively. Right now, we're still a team that's holding team to below 100 points in this league. And now we just got to find a way to get our offense a little bit better. But they're making mistakes. But there's one thing that I know about Keza, AB, Savage, all those guys are going to play their butts off whenever they're out there, and they'll continue to get better.
About the offense, as the game went on, the team turned more and more towards Lorenzo in the pick and roll, where he made really good shots. Is that what you want your primary option to be in the half court?
No. I mean, we just try to take advantage of what's going on. I mean, if our bigs have an advantage, which they had an advantage in the first half, we tried to pound it down. That's why we won the paint game. They were really bad in their pick and roll coverages, and pretty much was allowing Lorenzo to get downhill and pretty much get whatever he wanted. And the rotations never came, so he didn't really have to make sprays to three-point shooters. They were content with allowing him to have a big game and kind of keeping three-point shooters out of the game. It's a strategy. I just thought if we found a way to, once we got it right there at the two-point game, and try to get a couple stops, made some defensive errors, come right out of the timeout, not focused, didn't run a play correctly. So those are some of the things that we got to get better at. And as we get better at those things, I think we'll start to see it turn a little bit, and the wins will start happening in our favor.
I know Siobhan Thompson wasn't able to play the last 2 games, and considering that you guys had 76 in the points in the paint alone today, how important was it to have him back down low?
It was really important. I mean, I think he's a guy that can, really establish. He and Kennedy can be a real force. I mean, we don't lose much at all when whether one starts or not. I mean, Kennedy could very well start, or Siobhan. It's just how how we decide to go that day. But when we come in, we don't have any drop off. We got somebody that we can throw the ball to that commands attention. That I think, once they score a little bit more, there'll be guys that probably demand double teams and it'll help us get some really good looks in our three-point game too. But right now, it's good. I love what he brings. I love what Kennedy brings. Try to find a way to play up. I had a few minutes where I was able to play those guys together a little bit. So just to try to see how that worked out, because we got somebody on the block that we could really take advantage of.
Coach, what do you think of the atmosphere today for you guys to be out there in the Air Canada Center? And it seems like you got a lot of fan support, pretty loud and behind you guys throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, fans are great here all the time. Whenever we're in this building, it's a real home court advantage for us. As you saw in the second half, they really got into the game, and I thought some of their energy helped our guys kind of push once we got it close. But we got to find a way to send them home happy. But I think we'll get better. Maybe we have another game down here in the season where we can make amends for not getting this one today.